WLNS is here for you, celebrating 75 years of bringing you the news with 6 News at 5.
The U.S. Supreme Court decides President Trump can try and implement limits on birthright citizenship. Here's our top story at 5. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jorma Duran. On the final day of its term, the U.S. Supreme Court issued a ruling on a closely watched case involving President Trump's move to restrict birthright citizenship. Natalie Brand has a story from the White House.
Well, this was a big one, wasn't it?
President Trump praised the Supreme Court ruling that limits the ability of federal judges to issue nationwide injunctions blocking presidential orders.
This is really also a decision based on common sense.
The High Court sided with the Trump administration in a 6-3 decision, split along ideological lines. Justice Amy Coney Barrett, writing the majority opinion, said, quote, universal injunctions likely exceeded the equitable authority that Congress has given to federal courts.
It was a grave threat to democracy, frankly, and instead of merely ruling on the immediate cases before them, these judges have attempted to dictate the law for the entire nation.
Writing the dissenting opinion, Justice Sonia Sotomayor said no right is safe in the new legal regime the court creates. Many of President Trump's executive orders have been halted with these nationwide injunctions issued by federal judges. But now the president says his administration will move forward implementing those orders,
including birthright citizenship, ending sanctuary city funding, suspending refugee resettlement, freezing unnecessary funding, stopping federal taxpayers from paying for transgender surgeries, and numerous other priorities of the American people. We have so many of them.
The Supreme Court's ruling did not address the constitutionality of the president's move to limit birthright citizenship. The Attorney General said she expects that issue to reach the justices this fall. Erica Brown, CBS News, the White House.
President Donald Trump is now touting what he says is a Supreme Court victory. Speaking from the White House this morning, Trump spoke about a key legal win while also making new claims about Iran's nuclear ambitions. In a wide-ranging press conference following the U.S. Supreme Court's decision that'll limit the reach of federal judges to block his controversial birthright citizenship order, President Trump declared it a major constitutional victory, but the briefing quickly shifted to international security when the president was pressed on Iran's nuclear activity.
So Iran wants to meet. As you know, their sites were obliterated. They're very evil nuclear sites. They were, now has been proven. We had some fake news for a little while. The same people that covered the Hunter Biden laptop was from Russia. The same people that did 3 or 4 other Russia hoax.
The president claimed recent U.S. military action destroyed key nuclear facilities in Iran and suggested the country has abandoned its nuclear ambitions, though no official confirmation has been provided. Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel also responded today about the U.S. Supreme Court ruling, saying it's unprecedented and warned it opens the door for constitutional rights to vary by state. She also said, quote, it simply allows it to stand in states either unwilling or afraid to challenge it, inviting this president and future ones to ignore constitutional limits. There will be continued coverage on this, so stay tuned on air and online at WLNS.com. The Michigan Board of Canvassers met this morning to discuss 3 amendments, one being ranked voting for elections. This proposal would change the way Michiganders vote in future elections if approved. 6 News reporter Delaney Rogers joined us now live in the studio. She's here for you now to explain what ranked voting is. Good evening.
Jorma, instead of voting for a single candidate, ranked choice voting would allow Michiganders to rank the candidates they vote for in statewide, legislative, and federal elections. The hope would be to give voters more than one choice in an attempt to ensure that more votes are considered in final results. If no candidate gets a majority of votes over 50%, the candidate with the least amount of votes is not considered in the final results, and votes are reallocated until someone wins a majority. And today, the Board of State Canvassers reviewed proposed language for a constitutional amendment to allow it here in Michigan. Ultimately, the board approved 100-word summary for a ranked choice voting system. Those in favor of this amendment want voters to have more of an option, while others worry about guidelines not being clear enough.
If your favorite candidate you feel like might not be likely to win, you can still rank them and rank your other favorites and then rank the candidates that you think might be more likely to win. That way your voice is heard. You can vote your hopes and not your fears. and ensure that your voice is heard.
My group, we think it's a really bad idea. It makes it a lot harder for the people who run elections, your clerks here in Michigan, and it just makes it harder to understand and trust the results. So we were here to try to make sure that the summary that people will see when these petitions are circulated is accurate, actually helps people understand just how convoluted this can be.
This meeting was to approve or reject the wording for this amendment. Next, organizers will petition for thousands of signatures in hopes to put this proposed system on the ballot in November of 2026.
Okay, Delaney, we appreciate that update. A Lansing man is begging for help to save his cat that's been stuck in a tree for 4 days now. Sean Graney is here for you now with the details. Sean, what's going on?
Jorma, this happened along the 300 block of Howe Street in Lansing on Tuesday. The owner of the cat, Mark Hires, says his neighbor's dog attacked a lady walking nearby and hit her. While the dog was loose, it chased the cat up a big tree near Hires' home. Says the cat named Mama has been stuck in the tree since 5 o'clock on Tuesday. He says the fire department, animal control won't help, and tree service companies are asking for more than $350 to rescue the cat. Now retired, Hires says he cannot afford the price to save Mama and is worried things may not end well.
Probably starving, hungry. I sprayed her with a hose a few times so that she'd have some water, but she don't have any food, so. And apparently cats don't last very long, so if nothing can be done, then I guess I'll just have to wait. I'll get up one morning and she won't be on the branch, she'll be down here.
Hire has leaned on help from neighbors during this difficult time and says he is still seeking services to rescue Mama from the tree before time runs out.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
We have certainly dealt with some severe weather across mid-Michigan today, and like I see with a lot of times when you have this type of what we call MCS, or the kind that produces shelf clouds come through, get a lot of reports of funnel clouds. But look at some of these photos. This is from Luann in DeWitt Township, and you see those little low-hanging clouds out of there, but these weren't really rotating, and even when they are, they mate for a short time, but typically the winds inside these types of storms don't really produce tornadoes, so you might see this brief spin up or funnel cloud, but then it's just as quickly gone without any threat of ever touching down. Here's another shot of that. This looks like, we call these SLCs, scary looking clouds, because that's what it is. And Nicholas captured a beautiful one out of Lansing. But again, these aren't the kind that are going to spin a lot and produce a tornado at the ground. So these are certainly scary looking, but harmless in terms of them being a tornado. Now the winds inside some of these complexes can be intense. Today's winds were between around 45 and 55 miles per hour. The only threat of additional winds are on the leading edge of this storm. This storm is producing some very heavy rainfall, so once they clear over the next couple of hours, things will improve. There's the leading edge. The more intense storms now beginning to move through Howell, heading into eastern sections of Jackson County, western sections of Washtenaw County, and this one cell on the back edge is moving towards the east-northeast, so it will affect portions of Eaton County and Ingham County with some additional heavy rainfall this evening. Our peak winds today, here's a look between, well, 28 for Hillsdale, up to 52 in Lansing, 39 in Grand Ledge, 24 in St. John's. Rainfall's been very impressive as well, with the Lansing and Grand Ledge areas picking up over a half an inch, 3/10 of an inch, a little bit more than that in Jackson, St. John's with 0.18 of an inch. Precision cast, storms will quickly clear, so by 8 o'clock we're done with any threat of severe storms out there. Tomorrow morning is quiet. We'll probably have a few clouds here and there across mid-Michigan. That should burn off during the day and leave us with sunshine by the afternoon. It's going to be warm, but not too terribly hot, low to mid-80s for highs tomorrow. Moving into Sunday, some showers and storms to our north during the morning hours and again in the afternoon, but should be relatively quiet here in mid-Michigan. Temperatures are going to be hot, topping out near 90 degrees on Sunday. Now, our temperatures currently sitting in the mid-70s, but it's still plenty muggy outside. Skyview Network, much improved conditions in the Lansing area. 74 the current temp after a high of 90 degrees. Our wind gusts here at the station, 42 miles per hour. In Grand Ledge, 73 the current temp. High was close to 90, wind gust close to 40, and over a half an inch of very heavy rainfall this afternoon. Meanwhile, in the Jackson Cam, we've got cloudy skies skies still, temperature 74, a little over 3/10 of an inch of rainfall today. Final stop in Hillsdale, our current temp at 73, high today 91, and over 3/10 of an inch of rainfall. Tonight's forecast, low temperature 64, skies become partly cloudy. Then for tomorrow, temperatures will take off pretty quickly, mid-70s by noon, lower 80s by 5. Lots of sunshine, though. Looks like a really nice day. The 6-day forecast on Sunday, highs near 90. More storms on Monday. That cools us into the lower 80s for highs. Tuesday and Wednesday, lows in the 50s by Thursday morning. And then next week, looking good as well after some storms on Friday.
Well, I tell you what, those storms not too long ago came in like a little slap.
Oh, yeah.
Came right through.
Pouring.
Yeah,
really
wow.
loud out there.
Wow. All right. Well, after the break, we will be here for you with the latest update on the war between Iran and Israel. Stay right there. 6 News at 5. We'll be right back.